All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakah, Quadash, and double honors unto the elders, just like in apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Right now, this article is from the RT, and it reads, Trump promises not to fight foreign wars. And now we understand, he can give all the vain promises that he wants. Ultimately, Trump don't run anything, and ultimately the elites don't run nothing either. Everything is being done by the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. As the scriptures say, and I'll start off with that precept, coming from the book of Proverbs. The heart of the king, right? Here we go. There's Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Meaning what? He can say, give the speeches, that, everything is going to be fine. As the scriptures say, when they shall say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come upon them. So he can give the words to the public of peace, of basically resolving conflict. But what's going to happen in the end is that America is going to be burned, as is spoken of in Revelation 18 chapter, man. He can't stop prophecy from unfolding, man. The words of Yahweh Bashim Shai don't return unto him void. Before America was even in fruition, Yahweh Bashim Shai already dedicated that this would be the place in which would be burned as a memorial, and the smoke burning up forever, man. It was already stated that the salvation of the elect of the nation of Israel in the 1/3, it would take place. The elect is going to be brought up out of the lands whether they were driven, whether they were scattered. And a large concentration of salvation is going to come from America, man. Because you got brothers all across the world. But this is the place, as the scripture says in the book of Jeremiah 16, man. No longer shall it be said. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab it just to bring it out, not just going to talk about it. This is Jeremiah 16:14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, right? The first Exodus, right? But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, here, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers, right? Speaking of the land of Israel, right? But let's dig into this article. It says, voting for Kamala Harris would be a gamble with lives of millions, the Republican candidate said. Well, voting in this system, regardless, is going to be a gamble. And ultimately, you picking a side is just the illusion of choice. Because it don't matter who you vote for, the same agenda, the same prophecies are going to happen. You can't stop this from unfolding. Your vote ain't going to bring peace. It's not going to bring a change that's better in your life. As we go into Revelation, the 13th chapter, and it speaks about the two horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon, right? The ancient plebeians and patricians, your modern day Democrats and Republicans, right? Left wing, right wing, same bird, same system that's going to oppress you, same system that's going to mandate the MOT to the B, man, right? So it don't matter if it's red that get in or blue. They are not for you. It says former U.S. President Donald Trump promised not to send Americans to fight and die in countries they have never heard of while addressing a crowd in the battleground state of Pennsylvania this weekend. And now we know, according to prophecy, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to use Israel, right? As the scriptures say, the least of the flock shall draw them out. He's going to use Israel ultimately to put America full-fledged into this war. And the scriptures also tell you, and when we go into the book of Ezekiel 38, how, matter of fact, got to grab it. Because Yahweh Bashim Shai is a man of war, right? And the indignation in which he's going to bring is going to set forth upon America. This is Ezekiel 38, unwalled villages. Here we go. This is Ezekiel 38 and 10. Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Shai, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, right? And the scripture speaks about what that's going to be. It's that evil thought, right? It says, come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. right? And that evil thought is ultimately these nations getting the thought of pressing that button and accomplishing in that, right? There's a video about Russia. I believe it's Russia. Yeah, it is Russia. That if Russia was, it's either Russia or Iran, that if the country was to be bombed by the U.S. or whoever else, they have an automated system in which if a code isn't directed or redirected to that place that got bombed, then automatic nukes is going to shoot unto America, man. And I can't think of what the term they call it. Wait up, Slack. It was just on the tip of my tongue. Mutually assured destruction. Hey, call on Yahabashim Shai. That's the word, mutually assured destruction. Basically saying, hey, if we get destroyed, y'all gonna get it too. Right? So it says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. That's here. Hey, because America is only bordered by water. You know? The oceans, the sea. It says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. Right? So going back here, it says, he promised not to send Americans to fight and die in countries they have never heard of, while addressing a crowd in the battleground state of Pennsylvania this weekend. Hey, well, what did the scripture say about matter of fact, in the book of 2nd Esdras? Let's grab it. 2nd Esdras. Second Esdras 13. And the scripture speaks about Armageddon, or I believe in the Hebrew is Armageddon, which is the valley of the troops, man. Gad meaning, troops, right? It says 2nd Esdras 13, and I'll start here at 4. It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they that burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And that's speaking of the chariot fire or the laser fire, which is coming out of chariots. It's just concentrated fire, man. It's energy, concentrated energy, which is fire. It says, and after this I behold, and there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the men that came out of the sea. Speaking about Yahweh Shai, right? The nations of men versus Yahweh Shai. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it, speaking of the chariot. But I would have seen the region of the place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid and yet durst fight. Right? And that's including American troops, man. But here it is, he's telling you, that he promised not to send Americans to fight and die in countries that they have never heard of. He doesn't have that power, He doesn't have power over prophecy. And that's what you people don't understand. These false puppet leaders in which you're putting your trust and confide in, they don't rule over Yahweh Shai, man. They are merely men, mortals. Speaking at a campaign rally on Saturday, Trump once again claimed he is the only one capable of preventing an all-out global conflict, arguing that his Democratic rival Kamala Harris would get us into World War III guaranteed because she is too grossly incompetent to do the job. And it's funny, watching it from our perspective, man, because really it's the perspective of the spirit of power of Yahweh Shai, man, because all these things have to come to pass for the end to come, for this age, this ion to end, and the age of Israel to be established. Right? So it don't matter if she get in, it don't matter if he get in. What's written is written and can't be changed. As the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it will surely come. That's a promise. And the Lord is not a man that he should lie. To make her president would be to gamble with the lives of millions of people. Sons and daughters will end up getting drafted to fight in a war in a country you've never heard of. And that's going to happen regardless. You know, they're going to have to do a draft. Hey, the military numbers are already too low. Here they keep decreasing the requirements in order for people to be eligible. Now they're saying, oh, you don't need to, what they say, I believe, you don't need to graduate high school, you know. And then the health requirements, hey, they're trying to draft reserves, or what was it? I believe people that have retired from the military. They're trying to get them back into the service. Women, which is beautiful because you fought for this. It says in his nomination speech, in his nomination acceptance speech earlier this year, Trump vowed to end every single international crisis that the current administration has created. And he doesn't have the power to do that because ultimately, Yahweh Shemel Shai, wants war, he wants conflict, he wants global trouble, you know? Because in this global trouble or these global affairs, his chess pieces are moving in order for these nations to hate the whore, man, to hate this place. It says, particularly the Ukraine and Gaza conflicts, he never offers specific plans to bring out world peace, but repeatedly warned that by supporting and financing other people's wars, and that's done through proxies. But even when he was in, you take a look at the funding of Israel, you take a look at the funding of Ukraine, these nations get billions of dollars a month, man. It was just a $2 billion war, basically deal. I can't even say deal. War, how could you say it? I was about to say war pact. More like a war package, I should say rather, you know? And that's why Netanyahu said, hey, we'll take the money and the weapons, but we're not going to take your advice. Because guess what? They fund it. The small hats control the West. Really, they control, you know, all this. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked, you know. But nevertheless, you know, they use America as their muscle to terrorize the rest of the earth. So him talking about ending every single crisis is impossible. Because the Lord wants this. It says he never offers specific plans to bring about world peace, but repeatedly warned that by supporting and financing other people's wars under the leadership of President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the U.S. is increasing the likelihood of sliding into World War III. And what doesn't the scripture tell us? Behold, the second woe is past and the third woe cometh quickly. It's prophecy. It says last week Trump claimed on his Truth Social platform that if Kamala gets 4 more years, the Middle East will spend the next 4 decades going into flames, and your kids will be going off to war. And that's him too. But I will not send you to fight and die in a foolish, never-ending foreign war. You don't have to send your kids out to war. Have your kid blown up for a country that you've never heard of and that doesn't want anything to do with you anyways. But what Yahweh Shemel Shai has happening right now is a division on every level, right? Because here you have one side appeasing to the hardcore Americans, you know, those that believe in the commandments and the founding fathers, quote unquote. And then you have the other side which believe in liberalism and do what thou will spirit, you know. And when you take a look at the right, they're about defending the so-called morals because they're still immoral, you know. And then you have the left who's blatantly immoral. And what they're doing is they're causing conflict. And the scripture tells you that a nation divided against itself shall what? Shall fall. And if Satan be divided against himself, he shall fall. A kingdom cannot stand, right? So this division is creating tension. And this tension is ultimately going to cause a physical conflict. And physical conflict brings forth death and order. And that's when E comes in with his plan, the Galilean dialectic, right? And does what? And establishes mandates. And establishes checkpoints, martial law. Then all-out chaos. It says the Republican has repeatedly promised to end the Ukraine conflict within 24 hours of being elected, before even being sworn into office, by forcing both sides into negotiations. And this dude is a character, man. It's hilarious. It's very funny to us. It says Harris, a staunch supporter of Ukraine, has criticized Trump's approach, claiming he would essentially force Kyiv to surrender. The Kremlin has cast doubt on Trump's promises of peace, with the spokesman suggesting that he does not think there is a magic wand that can stop the fighting overnight. And it's not. This conflict, it was dedicated to be, rolling or snowballing in the times that we're in. You can't stop this force. It's beyond a man's power. This is heavenly energy and vibration that's rolling around the earth, man. And it's ultimately what? The prophecy. Plain and simple. Trump also claimed that he could have prevented last year's October 7th Hamas incursion into Israel, telling podcaster Joe Rogan that when he was president, he made sure Tehran had no money to fund his proxies. Hey, but that's the point. It's a lot going on. Hey, we just continue to watch. The election is November 5th, which that's 7 days, a week from now. Yeah, I believe a week from now. Yep. So, hey, we to continue to pay attention, man, and continue to stay prayed up and staying in the spirit, because Yahweh Shem Yahshua is about to make moves, and that's going to change things, and from this point out, regardless if it happens in a few days, in a week, in a month. We know January is going to be hot, and prophecy still has to unfold. MOTB still has to be mandated. So, hey, keep praying, keep prophesying, keep pushing, and keep showing forth the diligence to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Hey, Lord willing that he increase us, which we know, the scripture speaks about, we're going to start seeing miracles in the last days, and that's going to increase faith. Hey, but just keep working, man. Keep working. Keep having hope, Hey, but Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the body. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakodash. A double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMX Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.